Time out talk. Time out talk. Time out talk. Time out talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks, which is brought to you by Chase and Those Custom T-shirts and accessories, sponsored by the Ice Shaker, the only bottle you will ever need, and of course, also sponsored and streaming on the one and only Kirk Minahan Show, or otherwise known as the Minifan Network. Josh, I've got Ben, of course. We're back for another week. We keep things super authentic for you guys. We haven't even talked any type of recap yet. But Ben, so much to talk about, so much to dive into. We had in-home matchup, Ben Steelers taking on the Patriots. The Steelers were able to get the win. My Cowboys got killed. James and I were going back and forth in the chats. You guys couldn't see it, but it's just things are derailing early. And I heard a very interesting quote. And before I turn it over to Ben, as always, it is a wild league. It is the National Football League. And as I said last week, it is week to week. Things can change, Ben, like that.
Yeah, I was just up on the Cowboys pretty big. I was defending them. I was defending some of those performances. Like you went, Ben. Here we go. Start throwing them in. Everybody's going to start throwing everything in right now. So I'm liking it. But Josh, no, it's perfectly said. NFL that's what makes it great too. Every week's different. The Panthers. Hey, shout out to Rain's Panthers 30-0 on the Falcons. Who saw that one coming? The Texans still stink. I thought they'd have a bounce back one. They're just going off the rails as well. But now Josh's Cowboys, I've been defending them, and I took them in a bunch of stuff. I took them in the picks. I took them my other pick 'em that I do. Shout out Chi. But I don't know what that was, Josh. Maybe, obviously, that CeeDee Lamb injury, that's going to play a huge part in it. That's that offense. That game obviously would have been different if he was a part of it, but I didn't think they were going to get steamrolled like that. That defense, just a huge issue. Just nothing's going right over there on that side of the ball. And I don't want to keep making fun of the Cowboys for Josh and everything, because I will defend Dak a little. Like I said, no CD. What are you going to do? That flea flicker. The Bears are just making the plays. The Bears on team 0-2 on the ropes, feeling like this season's on their line right now. It's in their hands, and they took full advantage of it at home. So for the Cowboys, not too bad, Josh, but I just wasn't expecting them to get steamrolled like that. It was a tough one to watch.
Yeah, I was telling myself, I'm like, Ben, I want Ben to just dive into the Pats losing and, just the Steelers winning, excuse me, I
gave it to you for real quick.
I guess we'll start with this. I figured he was going to be all fired up. Of course, we will get back to that Pats game, but
we'll get it
out of the way, Ben. I've got so much to talk about. As you've talked about, the defense was lost. CeeDee Lamb goes out in the first 4 minutes. I have no clue. Tyler Booker is out. He got hurt. He plays the entire game, yes. But, as you see on the screen here, CeeDee Lamb, the biggest player, I listened to a bunch of Cowboys radio within today, after yesterday. I listened to press conferences. And, just being an NFL fan or a Cowboy fan, the identity of the Dallas Cowboys on offense runs through their best player in CeeDee Lamb. Ben, unexcusable loss. I just want to first say that. As you can see on the bottom, 31-14. just inexcusable. You heard Stephen Jones. He called into Dallas Cowboy Radio today and was saying, or yesterday, just execution, didn't execute. And then it's just the little things. You look at this Cowboys team, and I will say it until I'm blue in the face. Every week is going to be a fight. Like, of course, we didn't expect them to lose 31-14. I knew this game was going to be close. This week, we're playing the Packers. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't think that this team's going to win. I know we wait for our predictions, but the way that they're playing, that's just we'll push that aside. Of course, we'll talk more about that later. We've got a whole hour, but moving forward, you've got the Jets and the Panthers. Every week is going to be a fight. Like, I don't care if CeeDee Lamb's out there or not, and there's one reason why it's going to be a fight, and it is because this defense, Ben, maybe. I've seen Rod Marinelli's defense. I've seen some of the worst Cowboy defense. Shout out to those Morris Claiborne days and Anthony Brown out there doing whatever the hell he's doing. But this defense is god-awful, and you heard Marcus Spears say it yesterday before that Ravens-Lions game, which we'll talk about a little bit too, because that's another big thing for Ben. I mean, there's so much exciting stuff going on in Pittsburgh that we'll talk about after, but huge win for the Lions. But back to my Cowboys, it's the margin of error on offense, and again, this is no excuse, is slim to none. Because, again, I heard this on the radio show today, and it is so true. No matter what you do, a punt, realistically, on paper, like statistically wise, is basically giving the team the ball at the 50-yard line. You're essentially saying, okay, we're one play away from giving you 3 points. I mean, they're averaging 19 points in the first half. They look abysmal on defense. Then you flip over to the offense, Ben. I know me and James went back and forth in a group chat. It got a little heated. I'm always going to defend Dak. I sent that little gift today. Whenever it's a rainy day, I still got the friggin' umbrella hanging over Dak's head while the rain's fucking pouring down on me. Excuse my language. It's just, I don't know. I think the biggest issue right now is the defense. I think with Micah Parsons, this is still a 1-2 team. I'll say that with very, very convincingly. I don't think you beat Philly. I don't think you win this week. And, I mean, of course, things are going to kind of derail once you have your best player go out for the next 3 to 6 weeks, which we're going to talk about a little bit later when we talk about previewing, their next game, their huge game, the game everybody's been talking about for the last 3 friggin' weeks. I can't stop hearing about it. But, again, I'll bring myself back here. You look at this Cowboys offense, and guys need to step up, Ben. You put yourself in a hole. Javonte Williams has been running well, but a fumble happens there, and there is no margin for error on offense because this defense is that bad. Ben, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm looking at this Cowboys team on paper, they are not going to make the playoffs. It's still week 3. There's plenty of time. Things can change. Yes, they're going to be getting reinforcements back like Deron Bland, Siobhan Revel, their young draft pick that they've been kind of waiting on, and we're getting Jadeveon Clowney who can hopefully add something. But Ben, and I'm going to get to you guys in the comments here. This is the crash out. It's very brutal, and it's all just unreal. It's all unraveling here. I don't want to take too much time because, again, we have to talk about that Steelers-Pats game because I want to dive. I got some thoughts on that as well. And, of course, I'm going to give the floor to Ben to kind of – he deserves to gloat in this, But just to kind of put a bow on it, Ben, they have major issues. The talent that is on the field is not playing to the point that they need them to. Their defense is statistically the worst that I've probably, just in terms of eye test, have ever seen. And man, they still haven't even gone through their tough part of their schedule. And now they have their number 1 draft pick out for the 3 to 6 weeks. And then they have their best player arguably on the whole roster out for 3 to 6 weeks. Don't like the way that they're playing, and just some questionable calls in the coaching aspect where I've been ranting and raving for Brian Schottenheimer, but what are you doing? Why are you running CeeDee Lamb when Javonte Williams has been running the ball so well? And that's all I have. I got more kind of to preview, but right now they're not good. They're not a playoff team. James, yes, Dak is not playing the best, but I don't think it's really all to blame. Again, I'm going to be corny, but this whole team is to blame. The organization and the guy at the top, Jerry Jones, is to blame.
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing too much to you, Josh, on that. I'm not going to kill the Cowboys too much because, no offense, that's I didn't see them making the playoffs to begin with. So this is where I'm coming from. This is where I see this team. I'm not going to be like Jimmy and trash Dak. Dak lost his best weapon. Those two are the major points right there from that game, Josh. I think it's just CD going out with that defense. Dak's not going to be able to do anything. George Pickens stepped up, had a costly drop, but wasn't the best one from him. But Jake Ferguson stepped up. Again, seeing some of these other options, helping out. It's just that defense. That defense is just too bad. It's not going to be able to withstand anybody. And like I said, the Bears were 0-2 back against the walls at home. They needed that win much more than you guys right now, and they just wanted more a little on that one. I guess if that's really what you're going to know, I guess I could see how Cowboys fans be upset with that one. But, this game, I wouldn't be too upset. I wouldn't be too upset. I'm going to give them a little pass. Like I said, you got to show me some fight in this Green Bay game. We'll preview it a little, but the Cowboys got to show me a little fight in this one. We'll get back to them too, Josh, but I just wanted to start off with you guys because Pats Steelers, it was a stinker. It was a bad game, Josh. I won't lie. I don't know if you had fun watching that game. I really didn't have fun watching it. We're just bad. It's just we're both just two bad teams. I haven't seen this in quite some time. Obviously Brady years, Big Ben years. We've never really had bad teams, but this was just bad football. It was the defense stepped up, obviously, for the Steelers. 5 turnovers, but if I wanted to get a turnover and watch a 3-and-out, I would have kept Duck Hodges. If I wanted to see all these check downs, I would have kept Big Ben over here. Let's get Big Ben out of retirement if I want to keep seeing check downs. So Rodgers had some good throws, obviously. The Calvin Austin one to win at DK one. There was one over the middle to Jonnu Smith. Some of those checkdowns to Jaylen Warren were good and warranted, but there's too many of these 3-and-outs, drive stalling, defense is making huge plays for us, and the offense just can't give us anything. And I know everyone, listen, I yelled at the defense a little during that game too. That's a good point. Good point from the Pats are back. I've been looking at some of those comments too. Yeah, Drake May definitely concussed on that one. Not sure why he was in that. Probably had to be a little will do. Like I said, I'm not trying to be unfair, but definitely had something to do with that throw. I don't really see him making that throw. He definitely was kind of dazed and confused. But hey, I'll take that. I'll take that one in there. Yeah, see, there we go, Bobby. I like that one. So it scares me a little. Just that whooping they put on Cincy, and like I said, this offense really isn't good. Rodgers can put a couple good plays together, but the Patriots offense just thoroughly outplayed us. That's why for my point, my earlier point right there. Defense great, 5 takeaways. They had a bunch of plays. They withstood, but I mean over 300 yards. Patriots were like 8 of 10 on 3rd downs, 4 of 4 on 4th downs. They just got whatever they wanted, and we kind of got lucky with some of those fumbles. Thanks, Ramondre. Shout out Ramondre for a couple of those ones. That second one was wild. And listen, hey, what was that one? Gibson had one too, so I'm not going to let him off the back. I should make sure. I kind of forgot who it was. May obviously had a costly one. But the Steelers defense didn't play great either. Yeah, agree with Marion on that one. Definitely, Drake May look good. So that's why Pats fans, hey, I wouldn't be keep going on that approach, but I wouldn't be too upset with this one. You gotta move on from Stevenson. This is it. I mean, I think you only had like nine fumbles in his first couple of years in the NFL. He's had like 7 the past year, including the first couple games. He's just got to go. Vrabel's got to send a statement, got to send a message to everybody on this new team. But I'm loving this, Josh. I'm loving this game purely for bragging rights. But no, now I get to talk as much as I want to these Patriots fans who have tortured me all these years. So I finally get the bragging rights for a year. So that's what I'm happy about, Josh. But other than that, that game kind of stunk. I want to hear your thoughts on it too. But I really don't see the Steelers making. I mean, I know Bobby laid out a good point with that schedule. There could be a good run on the table, but there's just such a difference between us and the Ravens, Bills, Chiefs. And I don't know. I think we're a little closer to Chiefs now, but I mean, bringing up that Lions game too, obviously last night with the Ravens. I mean, even the Lions, some of these elite teams were just so far behind offensively that even if we pull a nice run together, it'll be good. It'll be good, but we're not going to be able to do anything if we just can't figure out this offense. So I'm happy, Josh. I'm a happy camper. I wish I talked a little more during the game, but every takeaway, when I started talking, when I started getting riled up, we just went 3 and out or we turned it over. So didn't really give me too much to brag about, but I'm going to brag about here. And like Nick DeVos said, an ugly win is better than a pretty loss, so I'll take that one. But not looking too good for either of us, Josh. Steelers, Pats, kind of grim.
Yeah, I think you're being a little harsh on yourself. I mean,
here we go.
You've talked about Ben's like, come on, no. Ben wants to. I like this.
No.
I like this is.
I gotta be hard.
It's usually the other way around. I feel like Ben is. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyways,
more laid back.
I think. Yeah, yes. I feel like you're usually laid back, and yeah, exactly. You're willing to kind of forgive, and a win's a win. But you seem kind of to go on that sentiment of Nick DeVos, like ugly win. I mean, again, I think both of these teams are around the same in terms of talent level. If not, I lean a little bit more to the Steelers just in terms of like names on paper. I mean, they do have Aaron Rodgers, they do have TJ Watt, they do have Jalen Ramsey, they do have DK Metcalf, etc. The Patriots don't have as many blue chip players as the Steelers, but watch this game. I was there live thinking, man, it's just a turnover fest. And as you mentioned, I just think the more important turnovers happened for the New England Patriots than happened for the Steelers. The Steelers had one, Aaron Rodgers had one really bad throw. That was kind of rough. I believe they might have even fumbled the ball. I can't quite recall, but you look at the Patriots turnovers and fumbles,
Washington
you look at that. What was that? I'm sorry.
Washington fumbled it, but it went out of bounds for us on that one. We did fumble it, so we were committing turnovers. That one didn't hurt us. Yeah, we just had some more costly 3 and outs, Josh. Can't capitalize, and I'm just going to throw this in there before you keep going. That offense just stinks. Yeah. Listen, we're just awful. That was just, we put up 102 yards in the first quarter, and we only finished with 203. That's just you can't do that in the NFL and expect to win.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the issue I had was how many checkdowns, how many and I was saying that to Patriot fans, around me in the area is if you guys better make him win the game because he's not showing me that he can go out there and launch the ball to DK Metcalf for a 70-yard play because all he's relying on is checkdowns and just little curls, little crossers, little slants. I mean, I thought I was watching Dallas's offense. Same thing. They had no deep plays. They weren't even challenging the safeties of the Patriots, which, Ben, if you look at the first 2 weeks, they were awful. I mean, you saw Geno Smith and you saw Tua having their way with the safeties and, the deep passes. And, obviously the Patriots, granted, were able to get that win in week 2, but I digress. End of the point here for the Steelers in the Pats game. I think you look at both of these teams, good, gritty game, as you've mentioned, as Nick, as Marianne, as everybody. Not a very fun and pretty game to watch, not that back and forth exciting. It was turnover friendly. It was just costly turnovers in big moments. It was punts. It was, questionable coaching decisions, questionable player decisions, etc. So I think the biggest takeaway, though, is what you talked about. And you nailed it on the head. Rhamondre Stevenson. I mean, you fumble the ball twice. You do it on the goal line, and then you do it again on a promising drive. I mean, I watched Javonte Williams do the same thing, so I understand Patriots fans, but more of an issue with Rhamondre. I mean, he quite literally cost you the game. Drake May, yeah, he has that fumble, and then he has that interception or whatever it was. I can't even keep up with how many turnovers, but he didn't play as good as I thought Ben was giving him, and I know a lot of the Patriots fans have given him. I didn't think that was quite his best game. Another thing, too, that I kind of wanted to highlight on here, too, is Josh McDaniels, dude. It's 1st and 3. You're on the 3-yard line. I get it. You don't trust Ramondre Stevenson. Gibson fumbles too. I don't remember if it was quite at that moment yet, but you still have a young, hungry back that you drafted in the 2nd round. Give him the ball once or do a little screen. I don't care what it is. Don't throw the ball 3 times into the end zone when you're on the 3-yard line. So again, just questionable calls, questionable decisions. And, at the end of the day, turnovers aren't going to win you football games. I know that's what Brian Schottenheimer said for the Cowboys. And I'm sure that's what Mike Vrabel said in his press conference as well. So, just looking at this, I think Ben should be proud. I think if you're a Steelers fan, this is great. I know the Browns beat the Packers and, you want every divisional loss to happen, but the Ravens lost. You beat your rival. Things should be up. I see Ben's point, though. You look at that offense and you kind of go, oh, boy. They don't really have that deep threat, or it's very predictable. It kind of reminds Ben of those old years when Big Ben was kind of heading out. I get that, but at the same time, hey, a win is a win in the National Football League. And just to kind of preview here before, we're going to talk again a little bit more about the Steelers because, again, they've got that huge 9:30 matchup, actually on Cody's birthday too.
Really?
So he's a Steelers fan as well. They're going to be playing in Ireland.
Shout
We'll
out
talk about
Cody.
that, but Cody. But here we go. They got the Vikings. Saying it's a home game, but it's in Ireland. Browns at home. Bengals on the road. So 3 kind of get-right games, because then after that, Ben, you're going to play the Packers at home. You play the Colts at home, which they're pretty good right now. They're a good football team. And then you go into LA to play the Chargers. So it's a favorable on paper 3-game stretch. And then you turn over here. It's a tough 3-game stretch, but also a good point. I forget who it was. I think it was Pats are back. Those are some tough defenses that the Steelers are going to have to play. So let's see if we can see a little bit more out of Aaron Rodgers, because, again, still is 3 weeks in. He's, learning everything, et cetera, et cetera. But, Ben, if you are a Steelers fan, you've got to be feeling pretty good about your win.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, this is purely bragging rights win, too. Always love being the Pats. Again, be able to just talk whatever I want to these guys out here. They can't say anything. They can say whatever they want, not capitalized on turnovers, 300-plus yards. Drake May's still better and younger. They still got the better future, but 21-14. We got that this year, and that's what I'm going to harp on. So I got them this
21,
year.
sorry. I screwed that.
21, yeah. No, I was just saying, that's what I'm going to keep saying. They can say whatever stats they want from the game. I got the most important one, the score. So, Pats are back. You don't like Calvin Austin? Calvin Austin over there, but no, that's a good one. Maybe we could start thinking about that one. Hey, Jacoby, bring him over here. Olave, I like those ones. I like that Jacoby one. I feel like we could probably get Jacoby for cheap from the Raiders once they start falling apart a little. But yeah, Josh, I didn't mean to sort of defer from this game, but this game kind of stunk. There's really not too much else to go from. We took an early lead. We tried every way to give it back to them, and the Pats tried every way to give it back. Nobody wanted to win that, and we almost lost it. And I know there were, some people complaining about the flags, but hey, we got some bad calls too. I think the refs were even about it. Bad calls all around. But I know that pass interference in that last drive, a little questionable, but hey, I'll take it. And then, Pop Douglas, I don't know about you. We talk about that too, Josh, real quick. Pop Douglas, I don't know. Thank you for that. I don't know why I know Nichols made sort of a nice tackle to sort of get him out of that. No, Jeff, I don't think he lost you guys the game. Definitely go probably Ramondre. I'll give Ramondre 80%, and then Drake May and Gibson can toss the rest 10-10. That was a costly fumble for May. May's going to get a little better pocket presence, pocket awareness around there. Definitely just needs a better offensive line. Morgan Moses didn't even really touch TJ Watt on one of those rushes that he got to him on. But no, I just think this game it really just wasn't a good game, and whoever made the fewer mistakes and was left standing at the end, or whoever had kind of the ball at the last chance, was going to win, and we did that. And no, I'm not going to blame Pop Douglas on that one, but I think they got to elevate Diggs a little more, Josh. I think Pomp Douglas experiment might be over. He's not your guy. He's not the guy. He could be a great, number 3 or 4 on a nice wide receiver run, but I don't think he's the guy over there.
No, and I think again we're going to talk more about week 3. We're going to get you a little MLB minute in here, and then of course we'll get you our locks, predictions, and so forth. But Ben, yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore. I mean, I talked about this at the tailgate. I threw a little money on Stephon Diggs to do something, and I don't get it. Like, I mean, you're paying him $27 million. I get it. As James had mentioned, he's 11 months off of ACL, but I mean, he's out there on the field. He's not playing the best. I mean, we can call it for what it is. I think Jared might nail this one on the head. Like, I don't think he is a receiver 1 caliber player right now. And I think that's partly some of the issue that you're seeing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You're relying on guys like Keyshawn Boutte, who, again, Patriots fans do jumping jacks for. But, again, he's not going to be a competent number 1 in the National Football League. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if he goes for 60 yards and a touchdown and then goes for 20 yards the next game or 30 yards, that's great. But catches a 2-yard touchdown pass. Again, is he going to really win you games when you play against the Buffalo Bills, when you play against, I don't know, the Chiefs, the Steelers, like we just saw, the Ravens, I'm just trying to think of any competent team, the Chargers. Like, I don't think Keyshawn Boutte is going to be your difference maker or can be your difference maker. Again, I see the chat kind of popping off a little bit. Here we go. But yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe Kyle Williams is the guy, or I don't know what it is. I agree. I think he looks very washed. He's not a wide receiver 1 right now. And Pop Douglas. I mean, he's had a rough past few weeks for them, Ben, for sure. But moving forward here.
That's tough, Josh. No, but just, hey, no, Pop Douglas, not the worst wide receiver out there. But they got to get that out of their head. I don't know, like you said, Josh, too. I mean, Boutte, these guys that they think are going to be these number 1s, you just got to move on from. You got to get somebody else in there. You got to get somebody established because clearly you can't draft them. And somebody just not washed up like Diggs coming off that ACL injury. Here he is.
I love it.
So
I don't know.
I'm chill with it. I'm tempering it. But even if he's fully healthy and everything, he's still not your number. Diggs still isn't your number 1. He's a great veteran. He's a great number 2 to somebody, but you still need somebody else. If you get somebody else, and then Pomp Douglas is your 3, and you got Boutte down there too, it's all right. Well,
I guess that's fair. I guess it's fair.
It's still early.
All is fair in love and war. But yeah, here we go, Jeff. Look up the Pats receivers, targets, the distribution.
It's all Hunter Henry.
Really weird. I mean, that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I think moving forward, yeah, he's been unbelievable. I mean, that one catch that he had barreling down towards the red zone was unbelievable. He has just been Mr. Consistent. He's been great on this tenure, on his last tenure. You couldn't. I mean, I don't know what. Yeah, I think the Patriots big, same thing. I don't think it's panic time this week or anything. They're playing the Panthers this week. As Ben mentioned earlier, they're coming off a big win. Are the Panthers legit? Can they rattle off 2 wins back to back? They kind of had this same thing go last year, Ben. Bryce Young and company would come out. They'd play good one week, then they'd get killed, or they'd lose the next week. So let's see. Let's see if the Patriots can kind of get back on tune for that. Moving forward, we've got a bunch of stuff to kind of talk about. As we've, a new quarterback was named here. I want to get your thoughts on that. Big breaking news today. Do we think that was a little early to kind of turn to him? The Ravens lose. I mean, the Lions looked pretty good. I thought everybody was writing them off early in the season after that huge loss that they had. But against the Packers, I believe, it was week 1, so still a little early to be writing them off. But some big storylines coming in today, then. What do we think? Jackson Dart, is he going to be the future? Him and Cam Scatabo kind of getting promoted here, what it seems like. I don't know. What's your thoughts? Chat. What do we think?
Scatabo looked good. Shoot, Josh. A little sneaky. I forgot I had him in a fantasy team, so a little sneaky good pickup for me. So pretty excited about that, but I think it's just what had to be done, Josh. Russell Wilson, the experiment had to be ended. that that drive. I mean, it was a great point from you brought up with the Pats on first and when it was a goal line, 1st and 3 over there on the 3, excuse me, 1st and goal. And it just had such weird play calling. Same with the Giants. I mean, I know there was a holding call, but just those throws, it wasn't even close. He just threw it out of bounds every single time and just didn't even look like he was trying for anybody. Russell just, and obviously he had that great Cowboys game, which is a little more concerning for that defense after those couple performances. Again, we're back to the Cowboys on that one. Hey, I see you pass it back. He's still going with that Drake May. I agree. Drake May look good. Just turnover.
I think
Hey,
he was talking
Big
about
Ben had the
Dart.
same problem. Yeah, look. Oh, he said Dart. Oh, I thought you said Drake May. Excuse me, pats it back. Yeah, I mean, listen, those stats. Sorry, I had to read that actually. And that's some. He's got good stats. I thought he was posting more Drake May. I
I
was
had
just
to
like, all
read
right.
that actually got me.
Yeah, I saw the DR, so I just thought it was Drake. But sorry, pats are back. But no, just Russell Wilson's so bad. His pats are back, bringing up those stats. It's worth giving the kid a shot. Let Scatterbo go out there. Let have a little excitement on the offensive side going. Maybe a possible new duo over there in New York. The defense is there. They can make plays. You just need a spark on the offensive side. So I think you got to go with this move, Josh. It's just not the experiment go a little longer with Russell Wilson, but he might just be over. It's over. Exactly. It's just Dart's going to give you something better than that. You know what you got with Russell Wilson, and it's making me feel a little better about some of the decisions we've made. Moving on from Fields, him and Najee. I think we've made some of the right decisions, but I'll let Josh respond to that.
We're previewing a little early. Not good because I was just telling Shane earlier. I think it's going to be twice. So yeah, we'll get to that a little later. But James, I'm going to tell you right now. I told Ben if you missed it in the beginning, I'm not feeling confident about this game. And again, we'll see James tomorrow. We're going to be chatting it up out to dinner. But yeah, I'm going to say he sacks him twice this weekend. I swear. Maybe one. I'll go odd. I'll go 1.5. I think it'll be 2 people getting in on a sack there. But I don't feel confident, especially with Tyler Booker out and TJ Bass. Brock Hoffman looks absolutely awful. But yeah, good queso dip tomorrow. But yeah, Ben, quick. Let's get quick. We haven't even done any baseball since we're back. We haven't talked anything. I'll tell you this. I'll get this out of the way. I don't think the Yankees, even though that they're ahead of the Red Sox, are going to do anything in the playoffs. Their pitching is super inconsistent. And guess what? Guess who's going to be matched up as of right now? If the postseason started today, which I believe it starts in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Somebody can check me on that. But this is, I don't know. James and I, for the past 3 years, have gone back and forth on how Toronto's going to be. I'm pretty sure I owe him a 4 for 4 or something because I did not see the Toronto Blue Jays winning the division at all. And guess what? They did. They've clasped that. This team, Ben, again, quick baseball minute, but every time I tune in and I watch them on MLB TV, it's just they're erasing some type of deficit. They're erasing some type of thing. And I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know. Anything can happen in baseball in the playoffs, but they do have a little bit of a DNA of a championship team. I don't think that they're going to win at all, but I could see them making a little bit of a run. I do think that they're legit. At first, I was kind of questioning them. I didn't think that they were legit, but I just seen so many comebacks. I want to see the stat. I'm going to have to pull it up or look into it tomorrow at work, but just an interesting team to watch and just to kind of focus on here. We could be really diving into that series if it is Red Sox versus Yankees. But Ben, I'll turn to you and your Red Sox thoughts. But one, I'll leave it like this. Once Roman Anthony went down, Bregman came out saying he was going to opt out. It just seemed like the identity of the team fell. On the flip side to the Yankees, they just have so many issues in their starting with their starters, especially their bullpen that they went out, traded all this stuff for. Aaron Judge, again, as James has said, as Tyler has said, as Jeff, as all my Yankee fan friends have said, let's see it in the postseason. Let's see it in the postseason for Aaron Judge. So, but big matchup coming up potentially in the MLB minute there. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. If we don't blow it, Josh. If we don't blow it, we haven't been really blowing it. It hasn't been too big of a collapse as it seems. We've been 9-9 in September, but it's just these winnable series. I mean, you can't split a 6 game. It was 3-3, but you can't split a six games with the A's. The A's that don't even have home right now. I mean, you don't sweep the Pirates. You lose the Guardians series. That's winnable. Obviously, the Yankees one was tough, losing 2 out of 3. That's a little more understandable. But some of these other wins, especially against the A's, you gotta. What are we doing? You gotta be able. I know Josh mentioned the biggest point too. No Roman Anthony, and I won't lie, I didn't really know that Bregman news. I didn't realize Bregman said that. I've been kind of focused and dialed in on the NFL. So Red Sox been taking a little backseat to me, so that's shame on me for that one. But that's kind of deflating to hear Bregman say that one. But let's get into the postseason, Josh. Let's just get in there and have some fun. Let's get up. Sox up 1-0. Nice. Good start for us. We don't play too well against Kevin Guzman from the Blue Jays, so that's a good start for us. But this is more about just getting there against the Yankees. I just want to get a Yankees series in there. Let me see it, because I mean, we at one point we were only a couple games back of the Blue Jays. It was about a month ago, but I mean, we were fighting for that division lead, and just Roman Anthony going down kind of just shut everything down. Not shut everything down, but put everything on hold. Excuse me. So I think that's where the Red Sox are at. Let's just try to finish the season out strong and give me some October baseball. I'd love to. I mean, just nothing better than playing the Yankees and being on October too. I'd just love to see that series. Give me and Josh something to talk about. But yeah, I think the Red Sox are limited right now, and thank God we didn't really give up too much at the trade deadline. We didn't really go all in. I know some people were questioning that, but now that seems like a bit better decision with all these injuries and everything going on with us. So give me the Yankees, Josh. Give me the Yankees that first round, or wild card, excuse me.
And we know how history fares for that within the past however many series. The Red Sox have definitely taken the Yankees chain in that. But yeah, we'll see. Red Sox, they've got the Blue Jays, then they've got the Tigers to close out the season. And let's just say, as Ben talks about, Guardians on their tail, I do think that they're going to make the playoffs. So I think, as Ben has mentioned, I do think the Red Sox fans have been a little too pessimistic about it, but things will happen. Things will change. Hopefully they can get Crochet up and going. They can kind of figure things out. These, pieces like the Rafellas can continue to try and stay hot or re-spark something. Alex Bregman, he's no slouch, or definitely not shy to the moment in the playoffs. So hopefully once that happens, he can kind of kick it back into gear. Moving forward here, we're going to go right in. We're going to give some more time. I want to give some more time. We talked about this a little bit earlier. And I'm going to let the Steelers fan, of course, dive more into this. But 9:30 a.m., Steelers versus Vikings. That is your game. At first, when I was getting ready to make the banner, I thought, oh, the London game, because I'm just used to that. But nope, this is in Dublin, Ireland. As Marianne said earlier, Steelers, welcome to Ireland. They're technically the home favorite there on paper. But Ben, I'm going to leave it with you. What do you think? What's your expectations? And win it.
This is a tough one, Josh. Tough one. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it right now. I have the Vikings. Took the Vikings winning this one. A little bit of a shocker. I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, technically we're the home team, but it doesn't really have any home field advantage in this one. Like I said last week, too, the Vikings with this Carson Wentz is going to be a good team. I mean, they still got all the weapons around them. And that defense just showed out, kind of making me jealous. I wish we kept Brian Flores around here, except Terrell Austin. That could have maybe changed this defense a little better over there, because that defense is a machine. That was just a crazy performance from them, especially obviously Isaiah Rodgers, the cornerback, scoring 2 touchdowns, a fumble recovery, forced fumble, interception, probably the best performance from a defensive player I've ever seen. Literally put up 14 points, put more points up than the Bengals himself. So a little scared about that. That's the main factor of me taking the Vikings, Josh. I think that defense, after what pitiful offensive performance I saw. Hey, there you go, Robbie. Rob's back.
They're
We
tied
can talk
right
about
now,
the
Rob.
Bruins too. We'll do a little. Oh, hey, tied. Hey, tied right now. Let's go. Again, I've been lacking on that one. Didn't even know they were playing right now. So shout out to the bees. Let's go. I'll wait a little more into once it starts to get real for the Bruins and everything. Uh, but no, I think just from that pitiful performance with Rodgers and everything, I just don't think this offense is going to be able to put up anything against this Vikings defense. And Carson Wentz isn't going to turn the ball over. Isn't going to. It's not purely going to be on him, but I don't think Jordan Mason's going to fumble like that, or the running back committee is going to commit as many turnovers. I don't think Carson Wentz is going to put his team in jeopardy like that, like Drake made it. I think it's just a more veteran team. Like I said, better coached, but maybe in some aspects, Vrabel's still getting used to that team. But I think the Vikings are in a better spot right now. Maybe they got a little revenge too on their mind, thinking about all those years Rodgers tortured them. So I'm going to take the Vikings into this one, Josh. Maybe it would have been a little different if we were in Heinz Field, but I think just going to Ireland. I almost said across the pond too, like Josh, but we're in Ireland. We're in Dublin. Go get your Guinnesses. But I think we're going to lose this one. I think we're going to lose the Vikings. And I just got to be fair, Josh. We're not going to win every game. I don't think we're going to win this one.
Yeah, I think what you saw from the Vikings was impressive. I didn't think Carson Wentz has kind of been, a journeyman backup for the last five-ish years. Obviously we know his time in Philly. That 1 year was like, whoa, what are we seeing? And then obviously he gets hurt. Nick Foles slides in, wins them a Super Bowl. But I think a little opposite of Ben. I think you look at the Bengals right now. Wow. I mean, that's a frustrating organization too. I mean, you pour all this money into Joe Burrow. You can't give him a competent offensive line. You don't go out and get a competent quarterback. You're running out Browning and Mike White like as if this is going to solve it. I mean, there's plenty of quarterbacks you can try to roll the dice for. You were 2-0 going into this week. Try to salvage your season. Try to give your something to move forward to, because I'm going to tell you one thing: a friggin' turf toe should not keep him out the entire season. Obviously they linger, but he should be ready to go once that turf toe is healed, dude. Don't get me started with that. So don't want to take too much time to kind of talk about that. But to the contrary of that, and to where I was going with that, was the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't the Cincinnati. I do think the Patriots and Steelers game, I have a different foresight of it. I think, they were both two pretty good teams. Obviously, they were turnover hungry, but, just two teams willing to go out there trying to do anything for the win. I look at this Vikings team, I still see a little bit of uncertainty. Those first 2 weeks, everybody, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe JJ McCarthy just isn't the guy, but watching those first 2 weeks with him, and, they were able to kind of just slip out that win against the Bears, I wasn't in love with what I saw of the Vikings. Yeah, they kind of got a get-right game, and we weren't expecting a 45-3, thrashing. But I do think that the Steelers have a more balanced offense. I think they have a more balanced team and organization right now to this standpoint. I think that they're going to get the win, Ben. I think it's going to be one of those weird, morning games where it's a 17-10, kind of a weird, wonky game. You do see a turnover or two, or, a defensive touchdown or a field goal block, which there was like 8 of them last week. But I think the Steelers are going to get the job done. I think we're going to see a decent game here from Jaylen Warren. I've been a huge fan of him. I know the Steelers just went out. They gave him a lot of money. And guess what? I traded for him. And guess who I traded to get him? I traded my Dallas Cowboys running back Javonte Williams to get Jaylen Warren. I know some people will kind of question that. Again, I had Dak and CeeDee Lamb, and didn't want to have too many Cowboys, but I'm high on Jaylen Warren. I like what he's done. I thought he had a really good game. He didn't, kill you in the stat sheet when you watch that Patriots game, but I think on paper, to the eye test, he played very well. I think Aaron Rodgers should continue to rely on him. As you've mentioned, Ben, yes, he's going to hit 1,000 screens and it's going to get old, but I do think hopefully they can kind of rely on him. He seemed to kind of be the steady anchor on offense where all this weird stuff is kind of going on with Rodgers and, Gainwell. I think he had a touchdown for you guys too, right?
Yep.
Yes. He's been playing well. So, again, I think the Steelers are going to get the job done. I think a little overreaction from Ben. I know it's one of those, I've been there as a Cowboys fan too, where you get the win and you're just not satisfied. I think Ben wanted to he wanted a 34-7 win in New England. He would have felt a little better, but maybe this is, as you mentioned, the Vikings, Aaron Rodgers, he just loves to kill them. And maybe it kind of continues this weekend. That's what I think. That's kind of what I see. But I don't know, Ben. I don't know. Don't try to talk me out of it now, being a Steelers fan, watching more minutes. But I think the Steelers get the win. I think they go to 3-1, Ben. I think they go to 3-1. Again, still going to stick to my prediction that they miss the playoffs and they go 8-9 or 7-10, whatever it is. But I do think that they get this win. I'm not going to shy away from that. Bruins moment. Rob, you want it? They lost 5-2 the other day. And one of my friends, Mikey, shout out Mikey, he brought out a very interesting graphic saying the Bruins are paying a lot of defensemen, a lot of money in that division. And I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face. Charlie McAvoy is overrated. He is a top 15 defenseman, 10. He can't stay on the ice. What's the biggest thing in hockey? What's the biggest thing in sports? Availability. Availability is the way to go. So I'm blanking on it, but we'll move forward. We've got Panthers, 1:00 game in New England. They're coming off a huge win. I'll take this one first, Ben. I actually think the New England Patriots are going to get the win. Again, I said it earlier. I kind of alluded to it. I like Bryce Young. I liked what he could do in college. I don't know if he's their cornerstone. I don't know if he's their blue chip guy. I don't know if he's their franchise quarterback. Again, there's so much that they have to do. And shout out to your buddy Ray there. I'm praying for him. I really am. I feel bad. We're going to see him in a couple, but I don't think the talent around that team is built right now to win. I think this, as James had mentioned, this is kind of, and again, a term I've been saying a lot, the get right game for the New England Patriots. They're at home. I don't see them losing 3 games at home, the first 3. I don't love the Carolina Panthers. I think, the Texans, I don't know. I'm not loving that win like everybody else. And again, the biggest thing that I want to see is I want to see Bryce Young do it 2 weeks in a row. If he does it 2 weeks in a row and shuts me up, okay, the Panthers are all of a sudden 2-2 or 3-1, whatever they are. I think it would be 2-2. Okay, then I'll come on this podcast. I'll apologize to Ray, but I have to see it to believe it. And as you mentioned earlier, I do have faith in Drake May. He didn't have his best game, but again, this is a favorable opponent. This is a get-right game. They're at home. They know they can't go 1-3. They've got a pounding Buffalo Bills team just knocking on the door. They are running away with that division and running away to seemingly what could be a first-round bye. So we'll wait and see. But I got the New England Patriots here, 24-14. They're going to get the job done at home.
Yeah, I agree, Josh. Perfectly said with the get-right game. It's perfect recipe. You're not going to lose 3 games at home. We got the Panthers coming in feeling pretty hot, feeling pretty high on themselves, and they should. I mean, 30-0 beat down on the foul back up between him and C.J. Stroud, just a little over there. He's looking good. But I think, unfortunately for Ray and the Panthers fans, just run into a team that just needs this game. They need this game. It's just a new system there with everything. So I think he's going to get them back. Easy game for the Pats. Well, I'm not going to say too easy, but I think comfortable win for them. They get. I don't know if you lost me. I was kind of
a little laggy there.
If you heard me on that, but
so you've got them getting the win here, and I think
I took the Patriots. Give me the Patriots. Yeah. I just copied what you said.
No. I think. Hey, I heard a little bit of what you were saying, and if Ray can. Oh, there goes Ben. If Ray can somehow, I don't know, Panthers, prove us wrong. And they prove us wrong. But here we go. This is a game, 8:25. This is a massive game for me, for the dignity of Jerry Jones, for the dignity of Micah Parsons. This is a huge game. 8:25 Sunday Night Football, and it couldn't have come at a better time for the Green Bay Packers and Micah Parsons himself. We lost Ben. We'll get you him here for the waning 10 minutes of the program, but I'm going to start. The Dallas Cowboys, Again, I'm going to say it right now. They need to get stops defensively, and they need to essentially play marginal, mistake-free football. Dak Prescott, as James mentioned, this is your game, dude. This is your time. This is your time to step up. You're one of the highest, if not highest paid quarterback in the league. I don't know all the numbers and the metrics. I know Joe Burrow is knocking on the door. You're one of the highest quarterbacks in the league. Now's your time to turn it around and get that win. I think you look at George Pickens. Now's the time, too. You saw the Chicago Bears, and what probably the Packers are going to kind of do, too, is show one corner on Pickens, shade the other, let Ferguson, let Tolbert, let Devontae Turpin, let Schoonmaker, let the rest of the offense do their job. But George Pickens, you want to be a number one? Now's your time. You've got 3 to 4 to 6 potential weeks to basically showcase yourself as the number one. Jerry Jones, you want to go out there and you want to get that win. You lose to them. It doesn't matter if you lose close. It doesn't matter if they kill you or not. No matter how, if you lose this game, they're going to be talking about how stupid the trade was. And that's all you're hearing every week is, well, what if you had Micah Parsons? What if you had Micah Parsons? Ben, I'm hearing that they're taking this game so serious, they're not even going to give him a montage package for his, like a special tribute. That's how serious and locked in these guys are. Ryan Schottenheimer, the rest. I even heard them on the Cowboys talk to Stephen Jones. He's the heir to Jerry Jones. And they asked him, if you have Micah Parsons, do you see yourself winning that game every single time they've lost this season? And what does he say? We've got to play with the guys in front of us. Of course, that PC, very safe comment that you want from your potential vice president, your owner, whatever he is, the C, whatever. But again, I'll keep it short and sweet here. I don't see the Cowboys winning. I think they're going to get annihilated. I think the Packers are going to put up 40 points. I don't trust my defense, Ben. And now, if they had CeeDee Lamb, if they were able to somehow win last week, I probably would have been saying something different because of the adrenaline and the bias in me. But I'm not going to go bias. I think the Cowboys are going to get killed. I think this is just going to be a feast. This is going to be similar to those games we saw Aaron Jones doing this to us in the end zone. I think someone's going to kill us. It's probably going to be, I don't even know, Josh Jacobs. Jordan Love. I think they are going to have their way. And Dak Prescott, I just want a special message to you, buddy. Every time you get on that field, you need to play perfect football. You need to score every time because you're not going to see the ball back in every turnover, every punt, every stop, every field goal that you hold the Green Bay Packers to is literally a plus. I got the Cowboys losing big time, Ben. I'll say 40-17. It's trouble in Dallas right now.
And I agree with you on that one too. And just to clean up my Pats one too, Pats get back right with that win. Yep, there we go. The Wi-Fi was gone. But yeah, Pats get back right with this one. I think we got to differ a little with Josh too. The Cowboys, this is a get back right game with them at home. I don't think they're going to get killed, but I see the Packers winning this one. I'll go 31-20. It's going to be a close game. Packers take a little bigger lead later on. But like you said, Dak's going to play a perfect game. He's just got to. If he's got to play a perfect game every time to keep him in it with that defense. But I think he will play a perfect game up until the end, and then that defense he'll make a couple mistakes, and that defense will let it go. The Packers will control it, but I think the Cowboys are going to show a little more fight than they did last time. They got to. That was a pretty rough performance. I think Dak will rally around them, but the point that I always will always go back to this season, it's just that defense is going to hold them back, and that defense is just not going to allow them to win some of these games. So I think that's where we're at with that one, and I'm not going with Josh. Now, I think the Cowboys have a better performance this week, but it's going to be too much. Give me a couple sacks for Parsons. I know. I think Josh went with 1.5. I'll go 2. A little revenge game for him, obviously.
Yeah, now I'll answer this question really quick, Jeff. At first I was saying trade one of those picks or do something at the deadline in general, but I don't know. Jerry Jones he's always playing around and always trying to
There's the Ramondre
just
one.
piss us off more. And yeah, I hate Ramondre. Hey, welcome in,
Yeah,
Big
I love those
Do.
guys.
Yeah, Ben
I love those
definitely
guys.
is feeling good
I'm about to get a
with
Ramondre
that.
jersey.
Love it, Ben. Ben Steelers fan here, getting his chirps in. Here's my lock of the week. I'll keep it short and sweet. The Bills, I did it. This is the first time in show history I've ever gone back-to-back locks. I said this
That's a
last
double
week. I was
week.
like, you know what? I'm going to do a double. This is probably the easiest lock. I could keep it. I could be a little better. But this is 15.5. Lock this in. The Buffalo Bills are right now, in my opinion, unless somebody wants to tell me otherwise, the best team in the National Football League, aside from the Eagles. Yeah, they're just going to continue. This is going to be a trounce. And Zach, I'm sorry, I know they have the Saints, but I mean, Saints are probably the only team right now on paper that are so bad you can actually look and say, hey, we knew they were going to be that bad. This is going to be an 0-4 start to the Saints. And again, maybe it's just in terms to another better draft pick.
Yeah, no, that's. I don't think Josh. To be honest, if we're gonna be fair, I think the Dolphins covered last week too. So we're gonna look at that spread. Josh's double back-to-back week might not have worked out. The Dolphins put up a nice fight
True.
last
True.
week. 60.5 is a lot of points in the NFL. But if there's one team that could do it, Josh Allen's got these guys rolling on offense. Bills looking like one of the best teams out there. To Josh's point. So I like that one. I'm gonna go a little different direction. Just we've been talking get right games, and this team needs one. This team needs one to get the season back on track. So I'm taking the Texans as my lock. Titans, they're gonna always put fights. Blanking on his name. How do I blank on the blank on their quarterback's name already?
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. I was saying Cam Ward. He's been looking decent. He looked all right in that Bucks game. He had some moments against the Colts, but they're the Titans. They're not going to. They're going to be in it for a little and then slowly fade themselves out of it. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Texans just, I don't know what's going on. 0-3, just an awful ending to that Jags game, a winnable game, keep them in that division race. And obviously it's still very early, but that's a tough blow, tough early division blow right there in a game that they could have and should have probably won on that one. So I got the Texans bouncing back, getting a win over the Titans with the rookie QB. Got to take advantage of all that. And CJ Stroud needs something. He needs something to get the juices back and get his mind focused and get his mind right going forward. So I think the Tennessee Titans are a perfect team for that.
Yeah, Texans, just another. I mean, the NFL is just CJ Stroud was, I mean, just destined. And now it's just that team has taken such a step back. This one's going to shock people because, I mean, you're probably not going to be because it's me, but, you know, I look at this team and they're playing good football, Ben. They are playing gritty football. I like Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go into, actually to win at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, I'm not hating on the Eagles. I still think that they're going to be in the NFC Championship, if not the least. That's a lock right now. That's a Josh lock. But I like what I've seen out of these Bucks. I watch them every week. They've got the first time in NFL history they've won 3 games within the last by a field goal to go 3-0. They look really good. Baker Mayfield's playing good football. I like the Eagles, but they've kind of showed some flaws. You know, they almost last week. I was rooting. Man, was I rooting for – I'm blanking on who they almost lost to now. But I was – man, oh, man. Oh, the Rams, who always plays them well. But I was rooting for that win. Didn't get it there. I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as my upset of the week. As always, I'm going to turn it over to Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Message to the Dallas Cowboys. You are bullied right now. Everybody's laughing at that trade. Jerry Jones is an absolute doofus. Dak Prescott, highest paid quarterback in the league. Let's see you do it. Let's see you go out and prove everybody wrong like I know that you can. And ladies and gentlemen, somehow, some way, Dallas, prove me wrong because right now I've got you guys getting absolutely killed. Ben?
Thank you as always, Josh. Thank you as always, everybody tuning in, giving us those comments. Go quick. My upset. Give me the Falcons. Need this win. Over Commanders, struggling and injured Commanders team. They're going to take full advantage of that. So give me the Falcons in this one. But as I said, thank you everybody again. And just want to shout out to all my Pats fans. I got you guys this year. No matter what you say, we might stink, but you guys stink more. So shout out to the Pats. Appreciate that. Thanks to Ramondre and Jimmy. Thanks for dinner, Jimmy.
Call timeout. Timeout talks. Timeout talks.